Hi, Michael.
Hi.
I am trying to learn how to practice self-attention throughout the day. I know that sometimes you might have said we can try to do it constantly. And I have an opportunity now with my life to do, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 7 minutes throughout the day. But I'm trying to learn how to do it more constantly. You kind of alluded to it earlier about 5%, 10% all the time. So I'm just trying to figure out what that looks like, and if that's kind of what we're shooting for is constant by really constant. If it's 5% or 10%.
Um, being constantly self-attentive, at least to a certain degree, to a certain extent, should be our aim. For most of us, if we're honest with ourselves, our attention keeps on getting diverted away towards other things. Whenever we notice that our attention has been diverted towards other things, we try to bring it back. It is only by patient and persistent practice that we can extend the amount of time we are at least partially self-attentive. That is what we want to extend the time. That is, we want to be self-attentive, at least to a certain degree, as much as possible throughout the day. But we also want to go as deep as possible. If we try to go deep, that's at times when we're not engaged in any other activity, maybe sitting comfortably in a chair or lying in bed, we can try and go deeper. The deeper we try and go, the more we'll be impelled to jump outwards. Because such is the nature of the ego. It's because the ego, so long as we've got strong Vishaya vasanas are not something other, it's our inclinations that make us go outwards. So the deeper we try to go within, the more strongly we will be inclined to go outwards. Supposing you've got a beach ball, big beach ball, and you go to the beach and you go into the water and you try and push that beach ball under the water. The more you try and push it down, the more it will try and come up. You can push it down a little and keep it steadily down, just maybe a quarter submerged. But if you try and push it under it completely, the more you push it down, the more force, the more pressure it will be to rise up again. So when you're trying to push it down, somehow it will slip your hand and it'll pop up this side or that side or whatever. It's like that with the attention. It's relatively easy to hold on to a partial degree of self-attentiveness. But when we try to go deep within, we won't be able to go deep within for so long. The impetus to come up will be more. But so we can, both during other activities and at times when we're not engaged in other activities, we try to be self-attentive as much as possible. When we're not engaged in other activities, we may be able to go deeper within, but may not be able to hold on to that for very long. During the midst of other activities, we can't go so deeply within, or it will seem to us at first we can't go so deeply within, but at least we can, for longer durations, we'll be able to hold on to that. So how to do it, you ask? Simply by practice. The more we persevere in this practice, the more we'll be able to hold on to the self-attentiveness in the midst of other activities, and the deeper we'll be able to go within when our mind is free of other activities.
Perfect. But okay.
What is actually required for the annihilation of the ego, what is required is one moment of perfect self-attention, of turning the full 180 degrees. Just one moment is sufficient. Ego will thereby be destroyed and all problems will be over. But in order to get to that point, we need to persevere in this practice, trying to be self-attentive as much as possible.
Okay.
That means as deeply as possible and for as much duration as possible. We shouldn't expect the depth and duration that is, when we go deep, the duration will tend to be smaller. When we extend the duration, we'll be going less deep.